Hi, everyone. So we are live. I was just on a call with Jeremy's mother. It is her birthday, and so that's why the town hall was delayed. And I apologize for being tardy to the party, but that is super important to spend some time with the family, and so I'm glad I did it. So we'll wait for everybody to get on, and then we will get started. I hope you're in your comfy clothes like me, sitting in the chair, and you can see the beautiful view. Well, actually, my TV is on, so what you see is the reflection of the TV. I hope that's not too distracting. I guess I can turn it off. Do I have my remote? Remote's over there. It should be okay. So, I wanted to start this evening with a special guest to highlight some good news that is going on. I love sharing good news, especially when I hear it. And I heard today, I was on Twitter, and I think I was getting tagged by people who were talking to me about some group that was donating food to first responders in Puerto Rico, medical staff. And so I clicked and I looked at some pictures and I said, I want to know more about this. So I reached out to them, and come to find out it's a volunteer group of good folks trying to do good things. And it just started over the last couple of weeks. They set themselves up an account on social media. And I said, come on, I'd like to have you as a guest tonight on the town hall, because I think the good that they're doing in the world is infectious. So I have asked Heather to join us. It's called, here comes Heather. There she is.
David,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So you probably heard me give everybody a little intro as to what it is. Tell me how this came about.
Yeah, so it actually just started off with a post from a nurse friend that is in New York City on the front lines. And she was posting about some sweets that a doctor from France sent them. And it just got me to thinking, she was just so appreciative of it. And it got me to thinking of a way to give back locally. And so I brought up the idea to some local friends here in Puerto Rico, and the response was overwhelming. And so we pooled our money, just a bunch of friends here, and we got some pizzas and we delivered them to University of Puerto Rico in Carolina. And the feedback was really positive.
And so from there, it has
Okay.
obviously taken off. I mean, to the degree that you've already gone to a couple of hospitals, you have another one planned for next week,
We
and you're
do.
essentially raising money. So go
We
ahead.
do. Right. We were so excited to help, and we all shared it on our social media pages, and a lot of people reached out and they wanted to donate too. So we've been receiving private donations. We donated to 4 different hospitals this past week, to over 130 different hospital workers. We have plans to feed over 100 people next week, and then we plan to expand to the rest of the island if we can. So we're just really
Heather,
excited.
Heather, one thing I love that you said is that you're locally sourcing things and trying to take care of the small mom and pop shops. Tell
Yeah.
us about why.
The small businesses, I think we all know, have really been hurting for business, and they've had to adapt with carry out and delivery. And so we definitely wanted to support them as much as we could. So we have been partnering with a local pizza joint in Santurce called Puttanesca. And we have plans to reach out, and we have tentative plans with other small businesses in the metro area for next week's deliveries.
And so you essentially just reach out and say, hey, I would like to drop some pizza off, right? I mean, it's that simple.
Absolutely, and they're really excited about it, because a lot of the healthcare workers, they don't have time to go grocery shopping. I mean, they're working their buns off. So we're really appreciative to everything that doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, all of the healthcare workers in the hospitals are doing, and we're all sitting at home feeling helpless. So if we can, fill some bellies and lift spirits, we would like to do that.
So where Heather is making a difference and spreading some joy with her friends is in Puerto Rico. But this is happening around the country. In fact, I talked to a group today in Brooklyn, New York, which raised close to $100,000 already
Wow.
to buy food and donate it. But here's one thing they're running into, Heather. is that a lot of the hospitals, and I spoke to one hospital today, New York Presbyterian, which is an umbrella that owns 10 different hospitals within that umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, I did not speak to them, my producer did.
Right.
But what they said to us was, we're so inundated with people wanting to give us food that we would have to bring on a staff just to handle it. So they're actually turning those people away. So I'm glad that you're not being turned away and you're being allowed to deliver.
And maybe it's just because we haven't reached our peak yet. And, you know, what's going on in New York is really unfortunate and sad. So, but I hear the same thing. And so I just want to say also thank you to the women that have been partnered with me. If it wasn't for social media, I mean, I would have a group of women around me right now that are just from all over, from Puerto Rico and from all over the world living here. So I just want to say thank you for all of their efforts helping with this cause.
And of course, we buried the lead, but you are not doing these deliveries because you are honoring the social distancing curfew that the governor has imposed. So you're
right.
relying on the business owner
right.
to go and make the delivery for you.
Absolutely. And they're even, I mean, we have a little, you know, note that we put on all of the deliveries that the restaurants are willing to print out, just to say, like, we wish we had, you know, an unlimited amount of PPE to give you, but here's some food. This is what we can do for you. So they're willing to print those out and deliver them with a smile. And so, you know, the small businesses here have been awesome and have been wanting to, you know, to help too and give us discounts, and it's great.
The group is called Meals for Healers. You can find them on Instagram at Meals, F-O-R, Healers, Meals for Healers. Heather, thank you for coming on and telling us a little bit about it.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. Good deeds are contagious, so pass it on. Thank you.
Amen.
Best, David.
Amen, they are.
We love you in Puerto Rico, so thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
I love that. Some grassroots stuff from people who just want to help. Isn't that great? Meals for Healers. You can do that anywhere. You can do it anywhere. You don't have to be in Puerto Rico. Do it in Wyoming. All right, next.
David,
Hi there.
how are you tonight?
Good. You're a little bumpy. All right, I got you now. What's your name?
My name is Jose, originally from Dorado, Puerto Rico, but currently residing in Windermere, Florida.
Windermere, Florida. What's the new normal there?
The new normal is Florida is Florida. It's the counties are doing more than the state. The state is doing more than the federal. So it's a backwards trickle down effect. Orange County, where I reside, they've been pretty good. You know, they've been closing down as best as they can. You still have a lot of the stores are packed full. A lot of movement around the places. I think one of the big problems we have here in the state is a lot of places like timeshare floors are still open because they state that they fall under real estate. So we have packed timeshares selling to older people, no social distancing.
Wow.
It's really crazy. I work in a timeshare sales floor, not as a salesperson, part of the corporate offices.
Yeah.
I have my own office. I'm away from the floors, but it's still disheartening. You see a lot of over 65 people cramped with salespeople and managers in one table, inches apart, constant movement. And it's, you know, a lot of what I see is a lot of people see this as an economic emergency more than a health one. And it just places us on the fringes, as I see in health risk. So it's a tough situation for a lot of us.
You still have a job.
I am still on the job, cut hours. In the state of Florida, it's weird because if you make over $275 a week, you don't qualify for unemployment. So they have us working enough as to where we don't qualify for unemployment, but not enough as to where we can pay all our bills and live our life. Plus, unemployment in Florida is really behind. The site crashes every day. The phones are unanswerable. They're requesting now people go to the offices and do them by hand. It's a little crazy.
It is crazy, and your governor waited a long time to put into place an order telling people to stay home. So,
yes.
Well, thank you for joining us from Windermere.
No, thank you for having us. It's, thanks for everything you do back home for the people in Puerto Rico. We do appreciate it. I tend to get the news for what goes on back home more through you than through the local media. So greatly appreciate it.
You can count on me to continue.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a
Thank you
good
for
night.
giving us
Nice to
support.
meet you.
Same here. Have a good night.
Good night. I want to bring in somebody who's talking about being in Vieques. Given the pandemic that we're in, they don't have a proper functioning hospital. They have a clinic.
No way. Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Shanae. What's up, David?
Hi, Shanae. I wanted people to hear from you because, Vieques is in a unique situation. You have this clinic, essentially. You don't have a function, a fully...
Here.
What, love?
It's crazy over here. We're terrified. We're scared.
Right. So you got this clinic. The hospital was essentially destroyed and closed after Hurricane Maria. Exactly. But you got 9,000 U.S. citizens living on Vieques in the middle of a pandemic. How are things? Are people socially distancing? Are they off the streets? What's going on?
No, things are pretty strict out here. Like, people are taking it very serious. You drive by the supermarket, people are at the tape, and everything like that. But it's at the same time, we're scared because how will we know if there is a case on the island? Like, how will we ever know?
Is there any testing? Is there any testing on the island?
Supposedly, and this is crazy because it's all gossip. We're such a small island that even the mayor here is depending on social media for his news. Somebody said that there was a couple at the CDT, the center that we have here. The man had something respiratory related, was sick, and they said, hey, until we get a test here, woman, the wife, stay with us. She ran off, did not stay at the place with him. So now we don't know where that lady is. We don't know what she touched. We don't know anything. Okay. And now we have a case in Vieques, and it's just like.
But this is not a confirmed case.
Exactly. I don't know. It's on the news. It's confirmed in that aspect. They are doing reports on it. But I as a person living here, I think there's more. It's like, how would we really know?
Well, guess what? They're not doing enough testing. So if you're not doing a lot of testing, you don't know how many cases you have.
There's here. I look on your live. Let me let you know that I be on your live and I be trying to get on here. And there's a lot of people that are worried, about getting to the hospital. And, I lost an uncle that lives in New York, in the Bronx, and we don't have a body. My grandmother, couldn't hold his hand. My mom couldn't say the final goodbyes. But here in Vieques, we don't even have a hospital to take our families or ourselves if we are sick. We would never find out here until something as serious as a 13-year-old dying from flu-like symptoms only 2 months ago. We still to this day don't know exactly what she really died of. Like,
you talking about the
Jai. There was a young woman. Yeah.
Well, but let's just be clear. Her mother, and I didn't see the documents, but her mother told me in an interview I did with her mother when she was in Washington for the State of the Union address that she had been given the results that Jai had an aneurysm, a brain aneurysm. That's what the mother said. I didn't see the documents from the doctor, but I just want to make that clear. So basically, everything is shut down, and people are following the rules.
Yep, you have to go out based on your license plate, which is very smart. Right now, there is a little bit of there's more people on the streets now because we are closed actually from Friday to Sunday, like 24-hour lockdown. You can only for emergency only people.
And Shanae, there was an issue recently with boaters arriving from. There was an issue recently about boaters coming in from other places, which is really dangerous. And I saw the video. Your mayor and the chief of police basically told them, "Don't come on this island."
Yes, and then there was a mix-up because there are also residents that have boats that are also docked there.
Right.
And that's where the it's like it's like a witch hunt out here. You know, we just will never know who. It's going to be like that out here in Vieques, and it's scary to think that we have to live in constant fear because I don't think we will ever know here and on this small island.
Once this is all done, I would highly recommend Vieques. Beautiful place, just like Puerto Rico, but Vieques is.
It's so awesome here.
It's great. It's great. Well, I'm glad we could get you on. I'm glad we could get you on to represent Vieques.
Yes. Thank you so much for putting me on our live, and we got to represent Vieques because we don't get a lot of media coverage. You know, we're here. We're part of Puerto Rico. As much as Culebra. Culebra is part of Puerto Rico, and a lot of Puerto Ricans don't know that. But back in the States, hey, it's Puerto Rico, main island. Hello, Vieques. Hello, Culebra. We're all here, and we're quarantining. We're trying to get this over with.
Amen. Thank you, Shanae.
Thank you, David. Bye.
Bye-bye. Vieques has that bioluminescent bay, which I've been meaning to go and see, but I haven't gotten an opportunity yet. Oh, let's see. Unable to join. That tells me that person has a private account. Well, this ring light that I have in my eyes, it's like, right. Hello there.
Hey, how you doing, David?
We've talked to you before.
We tried to connect the other night, but I had a bad connection. So I
Yeah.
tried on my cell phone this time.
Your name is Manny, right?
Manny, correct.
Where are you in the world?
So right now I'm living in Putnam Valley, New York. I work as a surgical tech in one of the hospitals in the Bronx. Our building where I'm at is actually the ambulatory surgery center,
Okay.
which was recently converted into inpatient to take care of the COVID patients.
Oh.
So that was very interesting. A lot of us that were working there hadn't had a lot of experience as far as med surg or ICU type of things. So it was a lot of learning on the job and stuff like that. And
So Manny, are you directly dealing with some COVID patients?
yeah, I am. So as a surgical tech, they kind of have me working as a nursing assistant or nurse's aide.
Sure.
So yeah, we're directly dealing with the patients.
So tell me a couple of important things. Do you have enough PPE, personal protective equipment?
At my location, we have had enough, kind of.
Good.
We were getting, well, the hospital they have the policy where we get 2 N95 masks a week. So it's still not as much as it's supposed to be. You should be getting a new one at least daily or multiple times a day. But we were definitely getting 2 per week. Sometimes if it got ruined or whatever, they will give you another one also. But yeah, we're getting that. We had head coverings, shoe coverings, gowns, some type. In the beginning, we had more. Now we were kind of makeshifting to other type of gowns and stuff. Other campuses that were related to our hospital, we heard that the PPE is not, that they do not have all of what they need there. So that was kind of discouraging to hear. But as of today, we got a message. I'm actually going into my shift at 11 p.m. tonight, which normally that's different for us. I mean, we were all day shift and some evenings, but now some of us got placed on night shift. I got a message that they're actually closing our location. So I guess that's kind of good news because I guess that means there's not enough patients to come transfer from the other campuses over to where I'm at. The bad side of that for me and maybe some others is that our name now gets put back into a labor pool, and now other campuses can pull us if they need us to go somewhere else.
Right.
So, and some of those places are going to be where it's still like very crucial, and and PPE may not be that readily available. So it's kind of scary. It was already scary enough where we were at dealing with it, since it was a new kind of situation for us. But now if we get deployed to another campus, then that's going to be a whole new thing to deal with.
Well, Manny, I'm sure glad you came on tonight. Your mother and your daughter are watching, by the way.
Okay.
So thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
we talk about this being a war, and the reality is the soldiers in this war are the medical workers like yourself.
Right.
And so we are, oh, and your wife is watching. Your whole family's on, man. So you're being well represented. But my sincerest thanks to you, and please stay safe. You are as close as it gets.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for all that you're doing, even for putting out, letting people sell their stories here during this crisis right now.
It's important to hear.
Yeah.
Manny, thank you.
Thank you, David. Good night.
Have a good shift. Good night.
Thank you.
Whew. Doesn't get closer than that man is. God bless him. Okay, so OZ3_93, it says unable to join. So your account is private. And if it's not private, you're going to have to shut your phone down and come back on. Because I see you saying you want to get on, but my queue says that you are unable to join. So you may have to just shut down and then come back up. Okay, let's see. That person's taking too long to answer, so we're going to move on.
Hey, David.
Hello, we've talked to you before.
Yes, we had a conversation earlier last week, right?
Your name is Alejandro?
Yes, Alejandro.
I remember. What do you have something new for us?
Yes, I think something I have to talk about is about a controversy that occurred in the government of Puerto Rico. With the government explained last night, the Governor Wanda Vasquez, that the controversy about the test they bought for 34 millions, 1 million tests that didn't had the FDA approval for making a test that is valid, and also the company that sold the test were not initially registered as a company that makes that type of offering, although it made construction. It's a construction company at its initial intention of being a company. So I think to fiscalizar, to ask this type of question and see the actions of the government in these circumstances of emergency is really important, because we learned in Maria, we learned in the earthquake that the government uses this type of moment to make some illegal movements that came out to be part of the Ricardo Rosselló government and make us go at the streets and ask for justice. And I think it's very important not to only have a healthy community, but a honorable community that can have a government that we deserve.
I hear you loud and clear. You are well versed. You're clearly following the news. And today, the Fiscal Control Board, which oversees all the finances on the island, because it is in bankruptcy, said today it sent a very stern warning and reminder to the governor, saying you may not sign any contractual agreements without our permission. So she basically got her hands spanked for not talking to them. She got her hands swatted for even having her government try to enter into a contract without talking to them. Listen, this is turning into be quite a scandal, and I'm glad people are following it. And the governor's got a lot of questions to answer. So if I wasn't as consumed with everything that I'm doing with the pandemic, I probably would be more involved. But look, the journalists on the island are chasing it hard. I'm monitoring it very closely. But there's more to come out. And I'll tell you one thing I've learned in life, Alejandro, is as politicians lie, sometimes they'll get away with the lie today, but it always comes back to get them. It always comes back to get them. So
Yes.
anyway, I'm glad you were back on, and I'm glad you brought that point up because it's very important what's happening, and the governor's going to feel the burn for a while. She's forced to face the
Yes.
music and answer questions.
It's simple. If you make the things that's my dog. If you make the things right, you're gonna do well. If you don't, you're gonna get questioned and you're gonna get
100%.
asked for the things you do. And
100%.
I see a comment. Yep, Whitefish part 2. And yes, it is. Whitefish once in Maria started a scandal. Now it's another company that is starting a scandal. And I think the most embarrassing thing is that it's the health of the people. People are going to die in this pandemic, and the government is not taking the action that corresponds to them. So I think it's really indignant. It's shameful for our community that the government is treating us like this way. So I think that's the dynamic that we're having here. So expressing. So thank you for that and having this space of conversation.
I hear you. Thank you for coming on to talk about it, and it's important. And so I'm glad we addressed it. Thank you, Alejandro.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Listen, I saw somebody say not everybody in the government is bad. We're not all bad, and you know you're absolutely right. Nobody is saying that everybody is bad. That is definitely not the case. There are some great public servants who are not corrupt. So Osman Perkins, your account now says your name where I can bring you in. So I'm going to see if this works. You must have shut down your phone and powered back up. So I'm going to see if it can bring you in.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. We've talked before,
We've
yeah?
talked before, but there's
Okay.
a few things. Sorry, I had to delete the app and I had to re-download it. I don't know.
No problem. No problem. Tell everybody where you are in the world. And
well, I'm back home. I'm in Ponce. I came back down to where I live. I can't let you hear the cookies to live by the beach, so it's impossible. There's a few things that I want to talk about. I don't know if you allow me to do this, but they're really quick. See, the last time we spoke, I am a volunteer with a nonprofit organization that deals with emergencies, paramedics, firefighters, whatever. We have an organization, and on Saturday we worked, and I came in contact with my first COVID patient per se because she came out negative with the flu. She came out negative with mycoplasma. So the only thing that it's left is COVID. And people, to the people who have a family member who have COVID, they really need to protect themselves. Because if your daughter, son, or mother or father, you have them isolated and you go into their room, make sure you have a mask. Make sure you have pretty much to protect yourself because you're going to get the virus. And that's what we saw on Saturday. People are not protecting themselves. Family members are not protecting themselves, and they have to do it because who's going to take care of who at the end of the day? Nobody's going to be able to take care of nobody if everybody has it.
What kind of work do you do?
EMT rescue.
Okay.
You know, we pretty much we work with everything because in this organization we have different people with different specialties in their job.
Got it.
So
first point is important. Well taken.
And the other thing is people are not helping the situation here in Puerto Rico. They need to clean after themselves. Throw in your mask on the ground, throw in your gloves on the ground when you go grocery shopping or whatever. You're not helping anything. And I got to this point last time when we talked, and people are still doing it. And it's disgusting because somebody else picks it up. You don't know what that glove has. You don't know how long that glove has been there. The virus stays on that stuff for days at a time. And we don't know. And we need to clean after ourselves because we're not helping the cause. You know, social distancing, perfect. But you throw in your gloves on the ground, it's like you're standing there beside the person who picks it up.
Right.
So, you know, they need to clean themselves. And the other thing with the mask, I have a mask here. We need to make sure when we have this mask on, we have to make sure it makes a perfect seal on your face. Because the case that we went on Saturday, the girl coughed. She had her hair, you know, they have that, whatever this called, I forgot what it's called, but the girls like to put their hair down. when they
Bangs?
cough with the veins, exactly. When you cough and the air comes out and your hair goes flying, it's like you're not having a mask on.
Right.
You know, you need to make sure that it makes a tight seal. If you have a small face, you have a big mask, you know, they only come one size, but if it's too big for you, try a different mask. Or make it tighter, because you're not helping anything either. You know, there's a few tips that I wanted to give tonight because it's
No, this
very
is good.
important.
Listen, picking up your gloves is just social respect, right? Oh, we lost him.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, look, picking up your gloves is socially respectful. Wearing your mask is just smart for yourself. And, you know, it's good to hear this. And thank you for what you're doing. You are a frontline worker. You're the first responder before they get to the hospital. So thank you.
Exactly. And another thing is that we put something online to yesterday that we gave out masks to the homeless, because the homeless, they need our help too, because they're out in the front line. And I'm not doing it for publicity, but a lot of people complain, why they're homeless, why they're already out in the street, because they're human beings too. They need our help too, you know. And if you see a homeless and they don't have a mask or they don't have gloves, do it, because you're not in, they're in the game too. You know, they're at risk just like we are.
I love it. Thanks for being you.
Yes, of course.
Thanks for being you. Nice to see you again.
Of course.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night. That was some good advice, good reminder. And it's coming from a guy who's on the front line. He's doing, as I like to call it, the Lord's work. He's doing the Lord's work. He's answering the call when people make the call. Hello.
Hi,
What is your name?
Maria.
And where are you in the world?
I am in Philadelphia.
Okay. Tell us your new normal.
So I am a Social Security disability attorney. And I think it would be helpful for me to talk a little bit about like what the new normal is for people who are seeking disability benefits under the Social Security Disability Act. Right?
Okay, we're listening.
So people have claims pending under Title II or Title 16 of the Social Security Act, and they don't know what's going on with their benefits. You know, if they're applying, if they have been deemed disabled, or if they are applying for disability benefits. So at this point, the program is still working. People are working from home. So everything is going well.
Okay, this is good. If people have questions about those benefits, where do they go?
SSA.gov.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that website is working.
Yep.
Some are not. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Hearings are happening for people who have claims pending. They're doing telephonic hearings.
Okay, that's good. And so what is an attorney like you? You're not going to court. You're just participating in like the phone hearings.
Yeah, over the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anything else you
it's
want
good to know
to know?
that there's like programs are still working. Like everyone is thinking like, you know, everything's come to a halt, and, you know, within the legal industry, you know, like a lot of the local courts, they are closed down, you know, in different areas. Some are still going. I mean, we're all just figuring it out as we go along. And I think that there's a lot of pressure, you know, a lot of pressure for people to like know the right answers. And when it comes to like the law, especially, everyone's like, you're supposed to, you know everything, you know. And as a lawyer, I would say, you know what, when it comes to innovation and when it comes to different things that happen, you know, no one expected this to happen. So people are just trying to figure it out, and they're doing the best they can. And from what I can see in my industry, in my legal area, things are moving in a positive direction. Actually,
Do you think this becomes a new normal for you?
I do. You know, like, you know, over the last, I've been doing this practice area for a long time, over 10 years, and I've seen how things have moved in an area of technology, you know, right? Just through green initiatives and just being efficient in general. You know, I think that there have been a lot of changes and in the right direction because, you know, when it comes to technology, we're able to help people more efficiently a lot of times. And what I do, we have capped fees. So we have what we call volume practice when it comes to Social Security disability. So we help a lot of people because we don't get paid a lot per person. So we have to have efficient systems. So this technology actually, and it's intriguing for me to see how even using these telephonic hearings are helping move things in a more efficient manner.
Yeah. Look, I think things like parking tickets, really, you know, random stuff that happens all the time. Why couldn't you do a parking ticket hearing online? Why couldn't you have something where the person gets on and can validate with a signature that they signed a document? You listen to the judge. You break the rules. You can't plead dumb like you weren't paying attention to the thing. But I don't know. You could clear out court systems that way. You could clear out, but you know, I don't know.
And how about someone who is a low-wage worker who is getting paid like $10, $15 an hour, and they have to take a day off of work to go to traffic court hearing? And that is like a huge impact on their family when they could do it like this. Like we're talking right now.
Smart. So smart. And that's how you help. That's how you help disadvantaged communities. Because, you know, people who have to take 4 bus rides across town to get to some court because they, you know, that's how you help people who are not privileged.
Well,
that's how you help.
Anyone is out there, I am a lawyer in Philadelphia. If anyone is out there who is, you know, willing to talk about these kind of things, I would love to talk about it.
Well, I love that you came on here to talk about it. And you know what I'm also mindful of though, and just as soon as I sit here and I say, oh, we should do everything on virtual. Some people don't have a cell phone plan. Some people can't afford the plan. Some people, you know, so we always have to be mindful that what seems like the greatest idea for the biggest amount of people is probably going to disenfranchise some. And the role of the government is to disenfranchise no one to the extent that they can. Correct, counselor?
Of course.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for everything you do for Puerto Rico. Everyone loves you so much. You're amazing. You're seriously like a trendsetter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I thank you. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
I don't think she might be the first attorney we've had on. I love hearing from someone who loves talking legal stuff. Legal can sometimes be boring until you need legal services. Oh, the coquille.
Hey, David, what's up?
Hello.
Danny Quiles. Yo, we love you here in Puerto Rico. It's serious. You should be like the governor or something.
Oh, thank you, man. Look, we can't see you very well.
No, it's kind of dark here. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get closer to the TV or something.
Can you got a light you can turn on?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna turn on the light. It's a little bit dark. Have you seen like the surfing issue that's been happening in the world? That surfing has been illegalized. It's being persecuted by the police. We surf
because y'all can't go out, right?
Yeah, we can't go out, and not that we can't go out, we can't surf. The police is pursuing us in motorboats and even in helicopters. And we are actually following the rules. That our concept as surfers is that we are actually isolating ourselves from society, like that we are not surfing accompanied by other surfers. The surfers that are being persecuted here in Puerto Rico are being they are surfing alone. And we requested the police to make a list, and they actually did so. They have a little list here called the surfer list, and what they do is if they catch you the first time, they are gonna sign you in the list, and if it's the second time they catch you, well, then you get in trouble. But I think I don't think the list is nationwide, and I don't think the other countries, as the U.S., are following the little concept of the list, because surfing is actually a healthy thing to do. And me personally, as a bodyboarder, the last time I got sick was like in 2014. So it's been a lot of years being healthy, and I promote other people being healthy to stay home actually. But like the classic surfers, the surfing legends that go by themselves to a secret beach that it's very secret location. I don't think that the motorboats from the police of Puerto Rico that actually were bought to catch drugs and criminals. I don't think we need to use all those resources to catch healthy people surfing alone. And that's my comment to the issue. But to the whole situation, as a surfer, I want to prevent everybody from getting the virus. So it's actually like a sweet and sour thing for us, because we actually don't want anybody to catch the virus, but we don't want our surfing legends going to jail because they are surfing alone. And I don't know what you think about it, but whatever you think about the theme, it's important to us as Puerto Ricans. We actually love you.
Thank you. I just wanted to give you a place to voice your opinion so we all hear you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you a lot, because we are a lot of like the surfing community. It's a strong community here in Puerto Rico. It's a community that promotes nature and promotes the protection of the environment, and we want to be part of the society that wants to get rid of this virus. We don't want to be criminalized in the process of doing so. And like my request as a citizen, as a U.S. citizen, as a Puerto Rican, as a surfer, it's to if it's a very known surfer, and the police knows the very known surfers here. If it's a very known surfer and he's surfing alone in a very far reef, like don't get the helicopter and like get all the AK-47s and all the fashion of the boat. Don't use it to a surfer. A surfer won't help. A surfer won't kill a mosquito if a mosquito bites him.
I hear you. I hear you. Do you feel better having made your opinion heard?
Yes.
Good.
Good. Thank you. And I feel so much better for all the surfers that are hearing my voice silently in their homes, saying silently, like, yeah,
Good.
that's what I wanted to say. Like that's my.
And what is your name? What is your name?
My name is Danny Quiles. I'm an independent artist here in Puerto Rico. I make trap, but here at my home, I'm not like I'm not in an artist mode right now. But yeah,
I hear you.
we
Well,
are.
thank you.
Thank you
for coming. Thank you for coming on and telling your story. You're the first surfer we've had, so thank you.
Well, kisses and hugs. We love you here in Puerto Rico.
Thank you, brother. Good night. I saw a comment that said, "Stay a journalist and please don't get political." Did I get political? If I got political, I didn't realize I was getting political. I don't know what I got political about. Hello.
Hi, David. How are you?
Wait a minute. Are you the teacher from the Bronx?
I am.
Well, we just talked to your principal last night.
Yes, he told me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have something new?
Yeah, we're just, I just wanted to touch on what you were talking about with the lawyer about connectivity and the cell phones. It's something that we're seeing here in New York City. Equity is a huge issue. Our students, I've seen some of our kids, I've had a few parents say I'm running out of minutes. So we do a morning meeting with the kids every single day. And we try to keep it short, 30 minutes, but we do our morning song and we do quick lessons. But that is a problem. And so it's something that systemically we have to fix, you know, because a few of us are doing those Instagram read alouds, but at the same time, the kids may still not be able to access it. So one thing that my principal is doing is he's working with a cable network to get us a few slots on that public television, where we'll then be able to do some of the instruction, put the read alouds on there, so that if at least the kids have, you know, cable, they'll be able to see us. But
God love y'all. God love y'all. And your principal's very proud of you.
well,
So,
he's a great example. So he leads the way. He gives the community all that he has. So
yeah. Well, thank you for coming back on, and good to
Thank
see you.
you.
And listen, if anybody watching right now wants to watch it, read along with their kids, her Instagram handle is there. Write it down, get it ready. MS_Diaz_edu.
yeah,
When we get off, will you type it in the comments for people to find
I
it?
will. I definitely will. Say hi, Mommy.
Hi, love. Good to see you, ma'am.
All right. Take care, David. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
Okay, so we probably have time for one more. My producer is calling me. I've got 2 stories on CBS This Morning tomorrow. So my producer's calling me because he wants to talk. He is calling me because he wants to talk. So I'm going to have to jump off here soon. But it's almost time. I think we got on about 8:40, so 9:40. Let's see if we can do one more.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Crazy Legs. We were both honored at the Puerto Rican Day Parade after Hurricane Maria.
Oh,
I met you briefly.
I remember that. Yes. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just feeling very inconvenienced because I was in the middle of bringing solar showers to 900 children in the southwest side of Puerto Rico. And then all of this happened. And they're in 3 different makeshift schools. So I'm really anxious to get past this and really get back to the work for the victims out there after the earthquakes, because they're still going to have to deal with the earthquake situation after all of this is over. So
tell me about your new normal.
My new normal is, because I've done so much work after the hurricanes and after the earthquakes, I know that life could be a lot worse. So I'm a little bit more inconvenienced than worried about myself or feeling sorry for myself, because there are a lot more other people, and you know personally by your own experience there that a lot of us are really living a luxury prison life right now. We're not in prison. This is like, I mean, this is nothing compared to what people are going through in so many other places around the world. So my new normal, honestly, I use my stairway for hiking.
Do you really?
Yeah, I use my stairway for hiking. I get in 1,000+ steps a day, and
I love that. I
yeah,
love that.
But
by the way, a lot of people on here know who you are. For people who don't, tell them.
Crazy Legs from the Rocksteady crew. I do a lot of work in Puerto Rico. I have a music festival in Puerto Rico as well that I use for economic development. And I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't really like talking about myself. I'm not good at that. I'd rather talk about the needs of the people, man.
Well, no, just some people asked. A lot of people know who you are. Other people said, "Hey, who is he?" So I just wanted them to be able to.
Oh yeah. I'm just a Puerto Rican trying to do a good thing from the Bronx. That's it, man. I'm really not good at that.
Doing the Lord's work. All right, so take us out with a couple of random questions. What is the one thing everyone has to see if they go to Puerto Rico?
I feel like they should see the west side of the island, because it's a forgotten gem. There's so much beauty there. I live in Isabella also. So I live in New York and Isabella. So, I mean, Isabella is kind of like country Caribbean.
I hear it. I hear it. What's the one Puerto Rican dish everybody should have if they only get one?
Pollo guisado.
What?
Pollo guisado.
Which is what?
Which is a chicken stew.
Okay. All
chicken stew, yeah.
Who's the one Puerto Rican you want to meet that you have not met?
Bad Bunny, because everyone keeps saying that I look like him.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Yeah. When what is the most important part of your Puerto Rican heritage?
The most important part of my Puerto Rican heritage would have to be things related to what we were before we were colonized. So getting in touch with who we are, and knowing that we're an amazing hybrid of so many different backgrounds, but those things that we originated from are really important to me. And those things are not really taught within the Puerto Rican educational system. So those things are super important to me.
Wow. Wow. That's great. Thanks for the round robin Q&A.
Yes. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure, and good to see you. Did you go back to the parade this year or last year?
Yes, I did. Yes.
You did.
Yes, I did.
That was the year you and I were there. That was special. I will never forget those people and the joy and just wow.
And the party.
And that was the year after Maria.
Yes. Yes.
The year after Maria.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, good to see you.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right. I think that is a great way to say thank you to everyone. We'll finish with Crazy Legs, and I will get ready for CBS This Morning tomorrow. I thank all of you for joining us, and we'll be back here tomorrow. And I'll be on time. I won't be tardy this time. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Be there. See you then.